Teraz by som rada pozvala znova Aleka Hagera, ktorého ste videli už včera, takže vám pripomeniem, že prišiel z Rakúska, je zakladateľom a riaditeľom agentúry pre mobilitu s názvom Radvokát a dnes nám povie k téme zdieľaných bicyklov a komunitných služieb a dostupnosti nákladných bicyklov.
Thank you. I think you heard this introduction already yesterday. I'm here my second time, happy to be so. Yesterday I talked about kids and bicycles and playgrounds to give them safe space for cycling. Today is my second favorite topic, it's cargo bikes. And I'm running this platform for collaborative research and testing of cargo bike services. It's called Klimaentlaster. And the topic now today is some examples of the accessibility of cargo bikes. So how can we integrate it into community services? And sharing is also a solution which can help people with, let's say, challenges in mobility solutions. So when we talk about sharing in Austria, cargo bike sharing, then you can see that we have around 150 cargo bikes for share. And that means that we are not talking about a big sharing system like it would be Nextbike or similar big sharing companies. This is several small initiatives. They are all over Austria. There is a platform called radverteiler.at. And on this platform there are approximately 100 bikes. Mostly of them are available for free, so people do not pay for these bicycles. And then there are also some community-based or city-based services like the Kretzelrad in Vienna, which has about 30 bikes. Fairvelo in Vorarlberg is small with 6 bikes. And that means if you compare it to bigger services that are existing, for example, mostly in the Netherlands or also in Berlin, there is 3 times more cargo bikes available only in Berlin than are all over Austria. So there is a lot of improvement. But also on the other hand, these cargo bike sharing systems that exist, if they are based not on public financiation, but like privately funded, and so they have to make money to exist, then most of them fail. So this is a development that we know that already also popped up this winter when Cargoroo went bankrupt, the biggest provider of cargo bike sharing, who had around 200 bikes in Berlin, 400 in Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and so on. So it's a challenge to provide bike sharing in general without public co-funding, especially with cargo bikes. And cargo bikes can really be a solution to help people transport themselves, their things, their kids, their elderlies, whatever. And so I think that cargo bikes especially would need public funding to exist as a service to the people. So what do we do in our research? Since 2018 we are researching different kinds of cargo bike services, and we are focusing on rural areas. So it's not about like Vienna or Graz. It's more like small towns. And there are special challenges in rural areas, so comparable like also to Trnava maybe. Rural and small towns, the goal is to lower CO2 emissions, that is the main goal, but high car ownership, especially in the countryside. You rely on the car in some ways. So people have cars, why should they use cargo bikes? Then second thing, low density means long distances. So if you have sharing, where do you put them? How accessible are the stations? Where can you put the bicycles? Because if you have to take your car to get the cargo bike, it's not the idea. So where to put the cargo bikes? And then there is no reason or there is no base for a sharing system, as I mentioned. So you won't have like 100 or 50 or even 25 cargo bikes in a small town, in a village. It's always a single solution. It's an individual solution for this community. So what can we do to provide this? And we came up with the smart share box, because normally you have the bicycles as a hosting service. So that means someone has a bike at home, at your shop, or even at the community center. But you can only get the bike when it's open. When someone is home, you have to call them, you get the key, and so on. So that makes it not easily accessible. So we knew this from our research projects and from our tests. And then we had to find a solution. And the solution of it is the smart share box. That means that you have a website. On the website you book the bicycle, it's the Radverteiler website. And then you can fetch the bicycle by opening this box. The box is screwed to a wall. It's connected to electricity, and inside you have the battery of the bicycle, you have the charger and the key. Because especially with electric bicycles, and we are talking about electric cargo bikes because they are much easier to use than non-electric, the main challenge is always how to charge the battery for the customers. So inside this box there is a plug. There is a battery, there is a charger, there is the key. You have reserved the bike, you open the box, you take out what you need, and when you come back, you put in the battery again, plug it to the charger, and the next person can have a fully charged bicycle to ride on. This is the basic idea, and it's working really well because this 24/7 service makes it really accessible, and whenever we installed these bicycles to an existing shared bike, the numbers of usage were rising rapidly. And then the next development of it is the smart sharing garage. So it doesn't mean that the box is on the wall and the bike is in front of it. So the bicycle is here inside the box. The box has the same opening system, but the bicycle is safe. It's inside the garage. Means it's a much more expensive solution. It's a little bit more safety. It's also more visible, so you can decide what you want to spend your money on. But this is a very interesting solution because it's made in Carinthia for touristic means. So that means that it's not only the bicycles that you can have. You also have roads where you can go with the children on a Sunday. It's more like the experience of using the bicycle for fun. Yeah, and so then I brought a little example of one small town or mid-sized town in Upper Austria where we found out how this the transport box, the sharing box, is working. So it has 29,000 inhabitants, but it's close to Linz, to the capital of Upper Austria, with 212,000 inhabitants. And there are 2 e-cargo bikes with the smart sharing box. We have it there for 1.5 years now. And the good news is that it's working that well that the community itself decided to buy 2 more. So the experience was very good, the people liked it, and also the mayor liked it so much that they now want to spend money on it. And then we will have 4 of these bicycles in Leonding. And what we know from our research, and we attached tracking devices to the bicycles, so you can see the heat map up there of the ways the bicycles were using. And we also see that the bicycles were also used from Linz, so the people were coming from the capital to the neighboring small town to get the bicycles there to use them. We know the distances they were riding, so approximately 1,000 kilometers in 90 days. And it's about every 2.7 days the bicycle was in use, and the average rental time of one bike is 72 hours. So a person fetching the bike, keeping it at home, using it and bringing it back is close to 3 days, because we decided to make it a long-term rental, because we want to get in touch with the people, we want to make it easy. So if you fetch it on Friday afternoon to do maybe a shopping on Saturday and a ride to the swimming pool on Sunday, and then you bring it back on Monday, so that should be possible for the families to use it. But, and that's something which is really important, the active time per day was only about 1 hour. So that means the bicycle is a lot of time is standing somewhere, people are not using it, and it's approximately 12 kilometers cycled. So that means that, especially in Leonding, the demand for the bicycles was very high. So we got a lot of feedback that people say we would like to use it, but the bike is not at the station, or it's already reserved, we cannot use it. So our recommendation then was to the community there, to the municipality, that they should restrict the time, of course, because if you have it for 72 days, but you only 72 hours, but you only use it for 1 hour, it's not fair towards the other people who really want to use it. If you do cargo bike sharing on a financial base, then it's always restricted, because every hour costs like €2 or even €6 with the cargo system, and then of course the bikes are used very efficiently. Here we had the goal to keep it very low level, to keep it very easy to use them. Yeah, and then additional services we tested this year is the delivery of goods. The idea is also to provide an emission-free support for elderly or disabled people. So that means that if you are alone, if you cannot go somewhere to fetch whatever you need to the groceries or pharmacy or whatever, normally you have to ask a family member, or you would call a taxi, or you would have to call an online service or whatever to get these goods. And so we said we first want to save emissions, because this is normally done by cars, but also make it more accessible and make it cheaper. And so the home service should be provided by the municipality. That's our concept. It was tested in a village in Austria for half a year. It was very well accepted, but the financiation was done by a research project, so no one had to spend money in it. So of course it has to be someone who has to be committed in the municipality to pay for this service. And the next one is like what we call abo, or subscription bike. So it's more like a long-time leasing. We also tested this. It was very successful. And the idea now is to also put this from a let's say, more financial approach. There is a cargo bike leasing available, but if a municipality would provide this cargo bike subscription, then let's say for half a year, and the municipality pays half the price, the users pay half the price, and that would really hook them, because if you really use this bike for some time, you don't want to get rid of it anymore. That's our experience from our tests. And so it's a really good measurement to convince people who are a little bit, they have to be already in favor of the idea of cycling. You will never convince a person who is really into car driving. But if you said, okay, I'm thinking about selling our second car or getting rid of the only car, and I want to test it for some time, for a week is not enough. Then it's just 2 or 3 rides. But if you get used to it, use it for a certain time, then you really will really love it and never give it back. And what a third learning is, don't wait for your target group. We made research in Austria, a representative survey of the Austrian population. What do they think about cargo bikes? And the most, let's say, the best target group is young families in urban areas. And so we said, we do not wait for them, we go there. So we went there with the cargo bikes on playgrounds, to markets, to schools, and invited the families. Come on, get on the bike, we will explain it to you. You can get the bike over there for sharing, it's even for free, come on, test it. And it's what we learned from the survey is that 31% of Austrians really want a sharing cargo bike. It's a very high number. If a third of your population really would like to have a sharing cargo bike, but 2/3 don't know where to test it. They don't have no access to it. In the bigger cities, you have a cargo bike dealer, but in the countryside, you don't. So we went there, we brought the bikes to them, and the message is easy. So when they're once on the bike, they will love it. Kids and parents will love it. Yeah, so this was my short presentation. You can find everything in German on this website or contact us. Thank you.
Thank you. Máme aj nejakú otázku z publika? Nech sa páči.
I would like to ask how much is the smart sharing station garage? I mean, garage is. You said it's like.
I mean,
no, the big one, the garage.
Yeah, the big one is these two garages are existing in Carinthia, 5 more in Lower Austria, I think, and they were co-funded by a funding concept, and I think it's like 10,000 euros for the garage plus the bicycle for a year, including service. So it's in. Yeah, and so that's a little bit expensive, and the box itself would be also not too cheap. It's around 3,000 euros, but the service itself is very cheap. Then you only need a SIM card and that's it. But you have to buy the box first. But there should be a lot of subsidies for this, I guess. So several chances.
Yeah, I would like to add, like, if you were connected with some electric providers, or because they were working around Bratislava with like e-bike chargers, and this might be quite interesting for them as a form of social corporate responsibility.
I mean, if you bring the idea to them, we are happy to share.
Okay, good stuff.
Ešte nejakú jednu otázku, keby sme mali? Nech sa páči tu vpredu.
I'm just curious. So for those cargo bikes that are not long-term share, but like for short-term, you probably have some sort of GPS tracker on them to know exactly where it's going. So how did you approach that?
Sorry, how?
How did you approach that? What sort of like?
Which product you mean, or
in general? Yeah, maybe not a product, but like, is it some sort of a subscription you bought somewhere, like just in general?
for the tracking?
Yeah.
No,
How did you
it's
solve it?
it's a product that prevents bikes as theft prevention. So you can buy this product and then it's connected to your smartphone, and then you can see where the bike is. So it's an Austrian product that you plant into the e-bike motor called Power Unity, and
So it
then
works only with e-bikes, I guess, because for regular bicycles, the battery probably wouldn't
I mean,
long last.
there is a lot of solutions that work without e-bikes, but then you have to be aware of charging the little battery in the tracking device. And for this product, Power Unity, the good thing is that you can put it inside the motor, so it never needs an extra charged battery. So that's the advantage for it. But there is solutions for both cases.
To bol Alec Hager. Ďakujeme veľmi
Okay.
pekne. Thank you.